tap in. How are you guys doing today? How are you guys feeling today? This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it, y'all. Glory be to God. It is a new day. It is a new day. Okay. He has woke us up this morning. And so there's always something to be grateful for, right? Despite of, okay, like something that we say all the time, despite of. And so I'm just going to go ahead and start really shortly, but I wanted to let you guys know that, like, to be honest, it has been like a whole process for me to do this part 3, which is the final part of Shaping the Art of Business. Okay, this is part 3. We are coming to an end, okay, with this being the final part. So if you guys missed it, all right, we have part 1 and part 2 on YouTube, okay, for the individuals that are in the AB Success Hub. And I created the AB Success Hub for the thinkers, right? For the dreamers, for the builders, for the individuals who are ready to grow and evolve into the next version of themselves, as well as looking for a community, right? A support group who are on the same page as you, right? Because it's really hard to be growing and evolving, and then there's individuals around you who are not doing the same, right? And probably doing the opposite. Eventually then you will begin to do what it is that they do, okay? So you want to make sure that you're around like-minded individuals who are on the same page as you, and who is, doing what it is that you um see yourself doing, right? Or even just someone that you can learn from, right? And to gain knowledge from, okay? Like, you don't have to be the smartest person in the room, right? So that's very important for you guys to know that. And so your girl got her water right here, because I was like, I'm definitely gonna need this. Not gonna lie, I got 2 of them. Thank God for water, right? um so yeah, you guys, it's been, I definitely had to push. I've definitely had to push. I had some schedule changes and a lot of shifting and pivoting and experiencing and all of that, y'all, that I've been experiencing. But you know what? I'm still here. I'm still here, still showing up, still doing what guys call me to do, despite of, all right? And so I just want to encourage you guys to do the same before we get started. I just want to encourage you to keep going. I want to encourage you to stay strong, because understand that when you are weak, he is strong. Hi, Owen. Thank you so much for tapping in. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How are you doing today? And how are you feeling today? You are the real MVP. You are now a godly trendsetter, okay? So make sure that you go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe so that you can receive notifications for when I go live, all right? If you don't know me, my name is Coach Trendy, all right? Kara G, if you're feeling groovy, though, all right? Um, so I just want to encourage you guys, to just keep going, right? There's going to be trials, there's going to be tribulations, there's going to be things coming up. Thank you so much for liking. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. I'm sending hearts and I'm sending love. There's going to be things that come up in your life that may try to stop you, right? And even sometimes you could be the person that, you could be the one that's stopping you, right? But a lot of the times I say, sometimes you have to talk yourself into it, right? A lot of times we talk ourselves out of it. Oh, what if it don't work? Oh, what if this happens? Oh, what if this, right? You have to change your mindset to say, what if this does work out, right? What if this does happen, right? So I want to encourage you guys with that today. Hey, how are you doing today? Hey, girl. I don't know. Is it Go Neural? Hello, hello. Thank you for tapping in. I appreciate you guys. Listen, y'all, it is beautiful outside. All right, it is beautiful outside. Listen, this weather be switching up, because the other day it was cold. Now it's nice. So you know what? We're just gonna take it as it come, right? So enjoy the weather. Make sure you guys go ahead and get some fresh air. Go for a walk. Y'all already know that health is wealth. And yes, it is definitely Wednesday. It is definitely Wednesday, which means you have to go outside and go for a walk today. All right. You have to go. This is in order that I'm giving you guys to do today. Go outside, go for a walk, and I'm going to be doing the same thing, all right? So I'm not just coming up here and telling you guys, oh, go do this or do that, and then I'm not doing it, right? I'm going to go outside today as soon as I'm done with this video, and I'm going to go get my steps in. Thank you, Stumble, for tapping in. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. My name might be difficult to pronounce in Turkish. Okay, we got people in Turkish. Hey, I appreciate you. What's your nickname? What's the nickname that I can call you? What's a nickname? Yeah, that is a little hard to pronounce, but you different. That just means you different. We all different. We the godly trendsetters. We set the trends. Okay? We set the trends, y'all. So listen, y'all. I'm glad that you guys are doing well. I'm glad that you guys tapped in today. If you guys don't know, like I said, I did part 1, part 2 already here on YouTube for the individuals that are in the AB Success Hub. There's so much that we offer in the AB Hub, right? It's an experience for you guys, right? To grow, to learn, to connect, to evolve, to network, to elevate, right? Oh, okay. Yeah, I know that isn't your nickname. I just asked if you had a nickname. Something that would be easier to pronounce. But I understand. Um anyway, you guys. So yeah, make sure that you guys go ahead if you are interested. Just comment boss below. Today we are speaking on shaping the art of business, right? So any artists out there, any aspiring entrepreneurs, any business owners, right? CEOs, um, individuals who are looking to get into the business field, then this is for you, right? Even like I said, if you are an artist, if you're a creator, influencer, whatever the case may be, this information is very helpful for you guys. All right. And so in part 1, we spoke on authenticity and differentiation, right? Applying art principles to brand identity, right? And we really broke that down and went deep into it as to what this authenticity and differentiation means. What does this have a great day. You're so sweet. Thank you so much. Glory be to God. So are you. God bless you. Continue to be amazing. Continue to be beautiful inside and out and stay strong. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe if you have not already. And thank you for joining the family, y'all. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And I'm sending you hearts and I'm sending you love right back. Okay. Um, yeah, y'all. So the part 1, we spoke on authenticity and differentiation. And then 2, we spoke on problem solving and innovation. Okay. From stagnant to stand out for part 1. Part 2 was from sight to insight. Okay. And now we are on part 3. Glory be to God. Part 3. And this is awareness marketing. Okay. Awareness marketing from visual to value. Okay. From visual to value. And so before we get started, I'm just going to go ahead and, read to you guys what awareness marketing is. Okay. And so awareness marketing is the degree to which consumers recognize, recall, and trust a product, service, or a brand. Okay. And so you want to get to a place in your business, right? In your service, in whatever it is that you have to offer, right? Even if it's like doing music or whatever the case may be, right? You want people to be able to recognize you, right? And to trust your product and your service or your brand. Okay, that's very, very important, right? Because when you do business, you want to make sure that you're doing it with integrity, right? And we're actually going to get more into um, core values and things like that later on down the line, right? And so awareness marketing acts as a top, excuse me, acting as top of the funnel foundation, right, of marketing, right? So that's like the top thing, awareness marketing, right? From unaware, again, to recognizing a brand as a solution, right? Often driving purchase decisions. So going from not even knowing what it is that your brand is or who it is that you are, right, to realizing that, hey, this business, this brand, this service is something that I need, right? It's no longer, you know, oh, I just want this, but it's something that you need because they are solving a problem that you have. Okay? And so I want you guys to understand how important that is. All right. So just give you a little quick backstory of what that meant. All right. And so let's get started. So first things first, right? Module one is structuring the visual narrative. And you guys know I love the whiteboard. I love writing stuff down on the whiteboard. You guys can go ahead and make sure you take notes if you would like. And like I say, if you're in the AB Success Hub, then you will have access to all of the notes, all of the trainings and things like that. All right. So you wouldn't even necessarily have to write it down, but you can do both as well. Write it down and go ahead and look over the notes that I will send you. Okay. And so, first things first is structuring the visual narrative. Okay. So, you have to understand that whenever you are doing marketing, right? Whenever you're doing marketing, it's very important to understand that 90% of information transmitted to the brain is visual, right? Again, 90% of information transmitted to the brain is visual. Okay, leading us to what we was discussing in part one, right? If you missed part one, on how images are processed 60,000 times faster than text. Okay, images are processed 60,000 times faster than text. And so when you're doing marketing, right, awareness marketing per se, you want to make sure that you're keeping this in the back of your mind. Okay, what will the people see first? All right, it's very important. You also understand that your logo is more than a design. Okay, your logo is more than a design. Yes, it is a design and it is a style and it is unique, but you have to understand that there is a message and that there is a sorry y'all, that there is a message behind your brand. Okay, there's a message and there's a story behind it, right? What makes you want to do this, right? Or what made you get started, right? Or what is your story, right? There has to be, and a lot of the times there is a story behind your brand, right? And always a message behind it, okay? That's very, very important. And so whenever you do awareness marketing, right, you're positioning your brand for audience connection, right? For audience connection, for them to get to know you, right? For them to connect with what it is that you're offering, right? But as well as data driven reach. Okay, data driven reach. And so when you are doing this, you want to make sure that you're being mindful of how many individuals that you are actually reaching. Okay, how many individuals that you are actually connecting to, right? How many individuals that are interested in what it is that you have to offer, right? Because that allows you to continue to move forward from there once you're getting this valuable information in the beginning. Okay, and it's not like you're just going in circles, but you try something and you say, okay, I reach this amount of people in this demographic, right? And this demographic isn't really into that, but this one is, and I thought that this one would be, right? Then you just shift and you just pivot, and then you begin to target the individuals who are actually interested in what it is that you have to offer. Okay, that's very important. And so by doing that, you're building your audience ecosystem, right? So you can better understand their journey and their needs, right? And what it is that they need from you, okay? And what it is that you can help them with, because maybe you're not doing something at this moment, but maybe one of your customers comes up to you and say, hey, do you offer this? Because I appreciate what you did for this, and I really learned from that, but I also need help with this as well. Is that something that you do? Okay. And so, again, understanding their journey and their needs, right? And where they are in life, right? And meeting them where they are. Okay. That's very important. And so, like I said earlier, we're going to speak on core values. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn this around so that you guys can go ahead and take notes if you would like. Go ahead and take notes if you would like. Um, Again, I have the heart because we are shaping the art of business. All right, y'all. Y'all already know. So, like I said, your core values, right? Your core values are very important, right? As well as your colors, right? As well as your logo, right? The actual logo and design of what people will see and associate with your brand. All right. The style of it, right, is very important, right? Style, your design, this all builds customers' trust, right? Loyalty, right? Confidence, right? The more they see it, the more they'll be able to recognize it, the more they'll be able to understand what it is that you do and who it is that you are, right? And who it is that your brand is, okay? So that's very important, you guys. Your core values are important. Your color, logos, design, style. This all builds customers' trust, loyalty, and confidence, okay? Confidence to want to purchase from you, to know that I will see something back from this, right? I will see something back from this. I will gain from this, okay? So that's very important, okay? Understand that experience can also be in packaging, right? In products, um, customer service, right? Your interaction with your customers, right? This is all a part of the experience and the awareness marketing, okay? Your interaction. Don't limit your business, right? Think big. Think big, you guys. You might start out small, but you think big, right? Think big. Do not put limits on your business, all right? I want to encourage you guys of that. And not even that, don't put limits on God, right? Don't put limits on God. Don't say, oh, I want to do this, but we got to do it this way. Like, no. The Lord is going to do whatever it is that he needs to do, and because he knows what's best, okay? So don't put limits on God, and that ties into, don't put limits on your business, all right? And that's very important for you guys to know. Um, Now, module 3, okay? We're still on from visual to value, okay? From visual to value, all right? From them just looking and seeing what it is, right? Mainly just looking at something to actually going ahead and purchasing something from you, okay? And understanding the value of what it is that you have to offer. That's very important. All right. And so, again, like I said, we're structuring the visual narrative, leading us to creativity as well, right? How you show up when you're doing outreach, right? How you show up, how you display, right? When you're doing your outreach, understand that it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it, all right? Make sure you guys let me know if you got this written down. I'm going to go ahead and flip this back around. Okay. And so it's not just about what you say, but it is about how you say it. Okay, guys. And that's very important for you guys to understand that. All right. Understanding that, excuse me, strategic messaging, right? It aligns with your audience. Okay. It aligns with your audience and your people. All right. Excuse me. Example. When I was doing my awareness marketing, I'll actually show you guys a picture up here really soon. But when I was doing my awareness marketing, I, at first, I was putting, register your business with the state, right? As an LLC, okay? Which is essentially what I was offering at that time, right? And then I began to ask, like, hey, I was talking to my good friend and I was like, hey, would you sign up for something that says this? And, essentially they said yes, but then it was like, nah, you know, there has to be a different way that you can word it, right? And so it's nothing wrong with asking people as well, like, and not asking them as in validation, okay? That's two different things. Not asking them as in validation, but asking them for information, right? To shift or to pivot if you're not seeing results. Okay? Catch that. That's very important. And so once that was said, I switched it to essentially what it is that will happen once you register your business with the state, right? And what is that? You will be a legit business owner as well as increase your finances because of whatever it is that you're offering or the service that you're providing, okay? Or whatever it is that you guys are doing, all right? So that's very important for you guys to understand and to know that, all right? Um, One second, guys. I'm getting a call. I'm sorry. I have to call back once this is complete, guys. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on one second. I don't think I Okay. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay. Um, yeah, so then again, after that talk was had, right? It then went to increase your income. Increase your income, legalize your business, or become a legit business owner. You get what I'm saying? And so that grabs people attention more. Oh, increase your income. Oh, get more money. Oh, you know what I mean? And so I want you guys to keep that in mind whenever you guys are doing awareness marketing, okay? That is very, very important for you guys to understand. All right. And so, real quick, before I go on to module 2, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay. And so this is what I was just talking to you guys about real quick. This is my flyer that I created. Okay. This is a flyer right here. And do you see how there's like a dollar bill, there's like money, there's like an arrow going up and, things like that, right? Because that is the first thing that they will see. Okay. Yes, they see the wording. Yes, they'll see business. Yes, they'll see that. But the first thing they will see, right, is probably that cash right there. You see that? They will see that cash and now they are interested because why is there money on a flyer that says increase your income? You get what I'm saying? So I want you guys to be unique with this. I want you guys to be authentically you, right? I've never seen anyone done this before. So I like to think outside of the box. I like to be creative. And I knew that this was going to grab people attention. Okay. That's very important for you guys. And I actually got a lot of compliments on this flyers and marketing on how I was doing it. And people were actually very interested in, how I came up with that idea or even just interested in what it is that I'm offering or giving. Okay. And so my main thing for you guys is to be unique, right? Be creative. Think outside the box and do something that you haven't seen done before, right? It's very important for you guys to understand that and know that. Okay. I'm going to probably move a little bit faster because my phone is dying, y'all. Phone is dying. So we're going to keep on moving along. All right, you guys. So that is what I mean, right? Before, like I said, it was, register your business with the state as an LLC and become a legit business owner, right? After, increase your income, legalize your business, right? Or become a legit business owner, right? Per se. Okay? And so I want you guys to understand how important that is. And so that leads us to module 2. Okay? Module 2. All right, let me know if you guys are following along. Let me know, let me know, let me know. Let's go to module 2. Distribution strategy. Okay? Module 2 is distribution strategy. All right. And so I'm going to go ahead and write a few things down on the board real quick. Not too much, but I'm going to go ahead and write this stuff down. And like I said, you guys do have access, if you're in the AB Success Hub, to all of the notes and things. Okay. And so we are on module 2. All right, y'all. Module 2. Module 2. Excuse me. Okay. Module 2. And like I said, this is distribution strategy. Okay. Distribution strategy, right? Beyond, I'm pretty sure this says beyond content. Okay. Beyond content. Okay. All right. And some of you are probably saying, Coach Trendy, what does that mean, right? What are you saying to us? Okay. Why are you saying that, right? Why is this important? And so you have to understand that it goes just beyond social media, okay? That this goes just beyond social media, that there's more to it than just, sharing on social media, all right? There's plenty of ways that you can do this, okay? There's plenty of ways that you can distribute. And what I mean by distribution is how will you get your products and services out for individuals to learn about you, to read about you, to want to sign up, to want to purchase. Okay, this is very important. And so there's plenty of ways. Again, we have word of mouth, right? Word of mouth is honestly, like, I feel like people sleep on this, but this is like something that's very important that will get you customers consistently, okay? Because if you're helping someone and you're working with someone and they love your job, they love what it is that you're doing for them, right? They love your job, right? How you show up for them, or they love what it is that you do, right? Or they love your work, um, they will refer you to people, okay? They will refer you to people. And that's something that people don't understand. Like, if someone thinks you're good at something, or if they like what it is that you're offering, they like your service, they like your food, they like your business, they like whatever, right? They will tell people about you. And then they will say, this is a good spot. I'm telling you, you got to try it. It's one of the best things. Da 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 da. This is how they are, the interaction, the packaging, the this, the that, right? And then now, once they tell that person, then that person tells another person. Okay? You understand? Okay? That person tells another person. They come, they try you out, they like it. Now they're telling another person. You know what I'm saying? Those are supposed to be smiley faces, y'all. Don't be coming out my drawings right now. All right? They like what it is that you have though. This person came. Now guess what? Now they tell another person. All right? Do not sleep on word of mouth. And not only that, now you have 3 people consistently coming in and they're coming back. And the more they go, then now this person is going to tell another person, right? Even if this person doesn't tell another person, this person knows someone else and they're going to tell them about it. Okay? So this is very important for you guys. Don't sleep on word of mouth. Okay? Don't sleep on that, because I'm telling you, when people give reviews, real life reviews, and are like bragging about what it is that you do or your services, they will inform people of what it is that you have. Okay? I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you, all right? So that's very important, all right? Now let's go to the next part that we have. On foot, right? Which is kind of like the same thing. You're like actually outside and you're talking to people and you're walking up, or people are walking by, or you're speaking on it, right? On foot, okay? That's important. So let me write that down. All right. So again, we have, like I said, word of mouth. We have on foot. We have, I'm going to just put WON for word of mouth. On foot, right? On foot. Outside, same thing, you guys. Outside. Networking, right? Networking, going to different events, right? Networking, doing like pop-up shops, just different things like that. Networking and meeting different people and meeting new people who might be interested in what it is that you're doing, right? Guys, I thought this was a cool one, and I have a picture for you guys as well. Roku, bro. Roku. TV. Literally can advertise on there, guys. You can literally do marketing on there. Like, I'm not kidding you. It is so cool. So, again, another one. A bus. Guys, seriously, a bus. Roku TV is something that everyone watches, right? Most likely, people watch TV all the time. They'll see it, right? Guys, a bus. The bus is riding around your city, your state, your town, wherever you are, consistently, all day, every day, at a certain time, at this, going to different places. Everybody sees a bus every now and then. Okay? There's advertising in that, marketing in that. Okay? I want you guys to understand to think outside the box. And this is not your typical things. Like, you don't hear people speaking on this as far as marketing, right? You don't really hear this too much, as well as this, right? You don't really hear that too much as well. So I want you guys to think outside the box and be creative, okay? That's why you have me here as your coach, to be able to assist you with that, right? To think, to speak on things that might have not came to your mind yet, but now you'll get that little push to be like, oh snap, that is a good idea. You know what I mean? All right. And so even too, like, quick, simple, right? Something simple. I remember a time me and my sister, we was outside and we were just passing out flyers, guys, talking to people that was walking by. Anyone who seemed interested, anyone who, was curious about what it is that we were doing. We were just talking to them, having conversations with them, passing our flyers out. And we were having a good old time, guys. So not only were we getting our steps in for the day, we was outside enjoying weather, we were meeting nice people, and we were also getting our business out there and speaking on what it is that we do. All right. So I want you guys to understand that. All right. Awareness impacts conversion. All right. You guys know that we usually have, oh my gosh, what am I trying to tell you guys? We usually have equations. Okay. We have equations. I know this isn't math, but we usually have equations. And our equation for this class is awareness impacts conversion. Okay? Awareness impacts conversion. Which means by them knowing what it is that you have to offer and being interested in it and saying this is a solution to my problem, that then impacts conversion, which then impacts how they support, which then impacts what it is that they purchase, which then impacts your business. Okay? So that is the equation for this masterclass. Go ahead and write that down. Awareness impacts conversion, right? They can't support something they don't know anything about, right? People can't buy from you or buy something that they have no idea what it is and what is it going to do and if it's even helpful to them, okay? So I want you guys to understand how important that is, all right? Understand, don't be afraid to promote your business, right? Don't be afraid to promote your business. Like, even I used to think like this, like, oh, like when they see me, they just gonna keep saying all she do is post her business. And what you think McDonald's is doing? What you think Burger King doing? What you think Louis Vuitton is doing? What you think Milano Di Rouge is doing? You know what I'm saying? What do you think these people are doing? They are promoting their business and standing by what it is that they are promoting, right? And they are doing it consistently, not once in a while, not every now and then. This is like consistently, different platforms, different things that they're doing to get their business out there, okay? So I want to encourage you guys, don't be afraid to promote your business. Why? Because God did not give us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Amen. All right. Understand that, okay? Don't be afraid to promote your business. And also understand that whenever you are doing awareness marketing, right, you might budget, right? You might budget because this stuff can be expensive, right? And so you want to make sure that you're making the right decisions and being smart and budgeting, but also knowing that you're doing what needs to be done so that you can receive an ROI from that, okay? An ROI from that, because the importance is the ROI that you will receive from your awareness marketing will be much more than what it is that you put out. Okay, right? Depending on you and depending on the tenacity that you have to keep on going and to keep showing up. Okay, so that's very important, right? ROI is return on investment. Okay, so understand that when you're doing this, you have the ability to receive a return on investment. Okay, because that's exactly what this is. If you're spending money to get flyers made for your business, right, and business cards, and you're passing them out, right, that is an investment that you're making in yourself, right, in your business as well, which lets people know that you are serious about what it is that you're doing. Like, this isn't a joke. I'm serious about this. So I'm going to invest in this because I know the back end of it, I will receive much more later. Excuse me, much more later down the line. Okay. Um, how can people, again, I said this already, how can people support what they don't see, right? That's why I said don't be afraid to promote your business, because not even like what they don't know about, but also how can they promote something they don't see, okay? So don't be afraid to show up, okay? And also, how can they support when the trust hasn't been built yet, right? No one's just gonna buy stuff from you and they don't know if they could really trust you yet, or they're just trying to get to know you and your business and what it's about, right? Have grace, be patient, but you still show up and you still do what it is that you can, and God will do what you can. All right, so just keep that in mind. How can they support, right? How can people support what they don't see or know about, right? Or how can they support when trust hasn't been built yet? Okay, that's very important, you guys. All right, and so we're actually going to do a case study, and I'm going to actually turn this around. Okay, guys. I'm going to turn this around so I can see you guys' faces, and you guys can see my face now, because I know that I had to turn it around for a little minute, but that's okay because it needed to happen. All right, you guys. So again, let's do this case study, right? So there was a TV ad that I came across, and it started out by saying there are fecal matters on your floor. Okay, I kid you not. They said there are fecal matters on your floor. Okay, can you guys guess what company this is, or if you want to take a hypothesis, right, an educated guess. Um, And so to me, that was the attention grabber, right? Because like if you're just going to come up there and start saying, oh, we'll scrub your floors for you and make it clean, people aren't really going to, it's kind of like what I was telling you guys about earlier, right? So they have an attention grabber, which was starting out by saying, yo, there's fecal matters on your floor. Okay? There's fecal matters on your floor, which is the attention grabber, leading you to want to know more about what they're talking about. Like, what do you mean there's fecal matters on my floor? Like, how is that even possible? Like, what brand is this? Like, what are you guys talking about, right? That leads you wanting more information. And so it was actually Stanley Steamer, who's the company, Stanley Steamer. And I thought that was very unique, very interesting how they put it down. And so why they said that, right? And what comes after what was said, that's a high impact awareness campaign. Okay, they're driving you in to want to learn more about what it is that they do, or they're making you even want to call them to be like, yo, I need you to clean my floor. Like, you know what I mean? This is something that needs to be done. Why? Because of the information they provided you with. All right, it's very important for you guys to know that. Now, we're still on module 2, distribution strategy beyond content. And so understand that when you are doing content, right, and you decide to do it on social media, right, because I don't know if I actually put social media down. That's why I put beyond content. But even too, when you start out, you start on social media as well, right? And so let's just take that a step further, how we're going beyond content, even though we're putting content out there and we're creating content on social media, right? Be that as it may, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and there's other platforms that other people use, right? Twitter, whatever the case. I don't know if people really use Twitter for business, but whatever the case may be, right? Um, are you educating? right? And so go ahead and create your content and promote and do content, right? Because that is also a form of awareness marketing. Okay. Don't sleep on that as well. But you have to ask yourself these questions. Are you educating people, right? Something that basically, like I just told you guys about Stanley Steamer, right? Are you educating? Are you entertaining them, right? Are you inspiring them, right? Are you using trends to your advantage, right? By being unique and authentic in your own way, okay? This is something that is very important. And so, like I said earlier, how I told you guys that I put the money inside of the flyers. Why? Why did I do that? Because the selling point is increase your income. And so the first thing they'll see is money, right? And like I said before, I've never seen that done before. So that was my attention grabber to my individuals and to the people that I am, you know, um, targeting, right? The people that are my target audience, the people that are connected to me. All right, you guys. So I want you guys to understand how important that is, guys. We are almost done. I want to show you guys a few other marketing um, things that I have for you guys that I took pictures of. All right. So this right here, right? This right here, guys, is a bus. All right. And they offer these services to individuals who want to advertise their business. Okay. So that was something I was speaking on earlier. This is a whole bus that you can advertise this business on. You don't know how many cars have been behind this bus, how many people seen the bus riding by, the bus is stopped, whatever the case may be. This is an awesome way of doing it. All right. Another thing I was telling you guys is about Roku TV. You know how literally, like, do you guys see that? That's progressive up there. Okay. This is when the TV is still and nothing's happening. You're not watching anything. It's like sleep, but it's not sleep yet completely to where it's shut off. And there's things going across the screen, and right there, progressive. So that's actually another form of marketing. Like, this is so cool, guys. All right. And one more for you. Okay, what did I just do? Guys, I just clicked something and I don't know what I just clicked. Child. Right here. Last but not least, this. I went to a spot. I was doing DoorDash and they literally gave out a coupon for the individual who ordered it so that they can come back. That is a form of marketing, okay? Letting them know, hey, we're thinking about you. Thank you so much for ordering. Here's a coupon for you for your next order. Save it a few dollars. Amazing, guys. Amazing. So I'm really putting you guys on some powerful info, and just make sure that you guys go ahead and take this in, because this will literally assist you in getting to the next level and your business, right? And just your overall life and personal growth, guys, because all of this takes determination, this takes dedication, this takes consistency, this takes perseverance, right? So this takes resilience. So I want you guys to understand how important it is. Okay. And so we're going to go to module 3, which is the last and final module, guys. The last and final module. And so this one is what? Measuring the impact. Okay. Measuring the impact. All right. And that's very important for you guys to know. Measuring the impact. Okay. Metrics that matter. Okay. And so you're not just like just throwing things out there aimlessly and just hoping they stick, right? But you are doing this with a purpose, for a purpose, on purpose, and you have a strategy behind what it is that you're doing. Okay? It's very important for you guys to know. Measuring the impact, metrics that matter. Analyze and take note, right? Take note of what it is that you're doing. Take note of how many flyers you gave out, how many business cards you gave out, how many people was actually interested, how many people subscribed, to your newsletter, how many people actually visited the website, right? You want to make sure you're taking note of this, right? And you don't have to do all of this at one time, but just small steps leads to the big goal. So start with something, right? You go out and pass out 10 flyers, then you say, hey, how many of these people actually took the flyer and they was interested and spoke to me about this topic, and actually wanted to go to my website and actually wanted to sign up, right? Let's say there's 10 and you have 2 people that was like, yo, let's go. That is a win right there. A win is a win, okay? I want to encourage you guys with that. A win is a win. All right. And so module 3 is measuring the impact, metrics that matter. Okay. Metrics that matter. And so identifying KPIs, right? What is KPI? Key performance indicators, right? What caused engagement? What caused reach, right? Essentially the awareness, right? You'll track this analytics, right? You'll check your website traffic, right? Campaign, post engagements, right? Um, Reach, okay? Which post resonated more with your people, with your audience, right? What did they resonate more with, right? How did they feel more connected to you? Which post was that, right? Paying attention and being mindful of what it is that you're putting out there and what individuals are taking in, so that you know, again, which leads us to what we were speaking on earlier, how to better serve them in their journey and their needs, okay? That's very important. Um, right? Analyze and take notes, right? Do it long enough to see what's working and what's not. This is something I had a problem with. I'm like, man, I done did this for a week and ain't nobody signed up. Yeah, because you ain't do it long enough. Everybody can't see it in a week, and everybody can't learn and understand what you're speaking about in a week. And you know what I mean? So make sure that you understand how repetition is very important. And so you have to do it long enough to see what's working and what's not working. Okay? Use the data to analyze and understand which efforts, right? So that you can pivot accordingly rather than sticking to something that isn't working. Okay? Leading us to the HMW method, as we discussed in part 2, which is problem solving and innovation. How might we? Okay? How might we? Open-ended questions. All right? In this case, it would be reflect and refine. Okay? In this case, it would be reflect and refine. Okay? That's very important for you guys. All right, you guys. So we are coming to an end. Thank you so much for tapping in. If you've stayed tapped in this whole time, I appreciate you. And I know that you will receive an ROI from your investment, because you understand that time is an investment as well. Okay. So in closing, right? Verb message exercise. All right. Brainstorm a list of verbs that describes the effect you want your brand to have on your customers, right? Action oriented, right? And so in my case, I would put inspire, unite, empower, clarify, transform, right? Just to give you guys an example. All right. Understand that when you say these things, this is what you're aiming towards. Okay? This is what you're aiming towards. All right? And so choose your brand, right? And so in closing, we're going to do choose your brand's vibe, right? So now you have the action oriented verb that you would like, right? For people to associate with your business or your brand or what it is that you're offering, right? And choose a vibe. This is like a fun interactive activity, guys. Choose your vibe, right? Sensory storytelling, right? Identify sensory profile that fits your target persona, right? Builds a stronger emotional bond than traditional ads, right? So let's say if you was like, you want a refreshing scent mixed with a calm scent. So like newness, you know, but also something that's very calm, right? So it's refreshing, but it's still calming, right? Why? Refreshing would be what? Newness. Again, transformation, right? Newness, transformation. This would it be for my business, right? Sensory storytelling, right? It would be a refresher scent, right? Mixed with a calm scent. So the refresher would be newness, transformation, right? And the calm scent would be concentration, focus, steady. Okay. And so I want you guys to understand how important this is. I'm going to go ahead and just do this real quick because like I told you guys, my phone is dying. So I'm just going to go ahead and write module 3 up there and write a few things. My phone is on 4%, so I got to speed it up. So that's module 2. We're on module 3, okay? Module 3, then we just actually finished up, but I want to write this down so that you guys can go ahead and look at it if you need to. Okay, module 3 is, what did I say? Oh, module 3. Measuring the impact. Okay, measuring the impact. Okay, measuring the impact. All right, metrics that matter. Okay, metrics that matter. All right, do it long enough to see what's working and what's not working, right? What caused engagement, right? What caused engagement, right? What caused reach, okay? Right? You'll track your analytics. Track. Okay? You'll track analytics. Okay? That's very important. You'll do it long enough to see what's working. My handwriting's getting a little funny, y'all, but that's because I'm trying to hurry up. What's working and what's not. All right? Repetition. Oh, wait, repetition. Okay? All right? Again, in closing, we did two interactive activities, okay? We did verb message exercise, basically displaying the message that you want your individuals to know. And then the second closing interactive activity was choose your brand's vibe, okay? Choose your brand's vibe. Sensory storytelling, okay? Identify sensory profile that fits target persona. Builds a strong emotional bond than traditional ads. All right, you guys. Also, I want to speak on real quick core values. All right, core values are very important for you guys to know. I'm going to go ahead and get up off here very soon. Core values. And so just to give you guys an idea, ABL's core values are integrity, right? Kindness, unity, ownership, of course, quality, right? Perseverance, accountability, discipline, right? Our Bible verse that we go by, Deuteronomy 8:18. Okay, Deuteronomy 8:18, and I'm actually going to go ahead and close us out with that. Thank you so much for tapping in. God loves you. God bless you. Go be great today. Conquer today. Own the day. You guys are amazing. You guys are wonderful inside and out, right? And God is not done with you yet. If you come across this video, understand that God is not done with you yet. The best is yet to come, all right? The best is yet to come. And so let me go ahead and do this real quick. And then I will go ahead and let you guys off of here. I will keep this up. Excuse me, guys, my oxygen. I will keep this up for today, just in case if you missed it. But in order to get the replay after this and the notes, right, that maybe you didn't have time to write everything down, then join the AB Success Hub. It's an experience overall, right? It's an experience to get with people who are dreamers, who are thinkers, who are builders, who are ready to flourish and grow into the next version of themselves. All right, guys, it's very important. It's only $22 a month, which is an investment, right? Which is an investment for you to get to the next level, because you'll make so much more back than that $22. And it's a month, okay? If you're interested, go ahead and comment boss below, and I will definitely send you the details personally. Okay, personally. Deuteronomy 8:18. I want you guys to understand this, that remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant. Amen. And so the verse emphasizes that ability, wisdom, and capacity for prosperity come from God. Understand that. Not solely from human effort or self sufficiency. All right. Purpose of wealth. Wealth is intended to fulfill God's covenantal promises and purposes on earth rather than just personal gain. It's more important than what it is that you want and what it is that you want to do. Okay. Understand that. All right. Situated in a warning against pride, right? Don't be prideful. It instructs the Israelites to remember God's guidance, right? He is leading us, he is guiding us. It is he who gives us the power to gain wealth. We cannot do it alone. Okay? We cannot do it alone. Covenant. This problem is linked to the Mosaic covenant intended to establish God's partnership with his people and showcase his blessing. All right, you guys. Listen. God loves you guys. God bless you guys. Go be great today. Conquer the day. Own the day. And know that you are blessed and highly favored. You are the head and not the tail. You are above and not beneath. You are a lender and not a borrower. God took his time with you. You are a royal priesthood. I'll see you soon. Mwah.